Hey, hey, hey. Time for another out-of-this-world story from rSpace. Sometimes God's plan is just code for we ran out of lies. Today on rSpace, our leading man, snipped and sincerely trying to do right by a woman he once rescued from rock bottom, found himself accused of immaculate conception. Girlfriend got knocked up by affair partner, refused DNA test, and pinned it on me until I revealed my secret and destroyed her. I, 27 male, have been dating this girl, Cass, 28 female, for a little over a year, known her for 3+ years. There's a long history of how we met. Let's not get into it. I felt she was perfect for me. The most intriguing thing about her was her cheerfulness. Despite her traumatic past, she was always positive. We could brighten up the room instantly. After being with her for a year, my affection has only grown thicker, and so has my guilt. Actually, I had been keeping a serious secret from her, one that could affect our relationship permanently. In my defense, our relationship was still very young, and I was only starting to get comfortable to the point of sharing very personal details. Although recently, I had been looking for the best opportunity to tell her, but before I could, she exposed her nasty side. This month, she was expecting a promotion for which she had been working very hard. Yesterday, she called me in the afternoon with this cheerful energy that she had news. I jumped in excitement and congratulated her on the promotion. She got silent and then said she would tell me after coming home. I genuinely thought it was about her promotion and decided this could be the best opportunity to reveal my secret. To make this evening memorable, I made her favorite dinner, creamy mashed potatoes and spicy steak, set over a candlelit dining room, and waited for her. She's usually home by 7, but for the last few months, she's been putting in extra hours at work because of her upcoming promotion review. By the way, she works at my friend's company, and he confirmed that employees have been staying up late for a project, so I expected her to be late that evening. I was also anxious that my secret might end things for us, but wanted to get that off my chest. I was hopeful that she would understand my point of view, and if she didn't, I would at least get closure. I rehearsed my lines and prepared my mind for all the possible outcomes of my confession, but absolutely nothing could have prepared me for what would happen later that night. It was almost 8 when I texted her. She replied, "Still some time." By then, my anxiety made me tired and I dozed off on the couch. I woke up around 10 and she was still not there. This time I called her instead of text. Her number was switched off. I thought maybe the battery was dead. Waited for another hour before asking my friend about it. To my shock, he said she left before lunch and she wasn't feeling well. My heart sank. I was expecting him to inform me about the promotion, but his voice was normal. So I hesitantly asked if the promotion news was out. He said the evaluation is still in progress. Would take another 2 weeks. Shocker after shocker. What news was she talking about if not promotion? And where has she been for the whole day? Around midnight, she enters. I was about to bombard her with my questions when I noticed she was beaming with a mysterious glow. She paced towards me excitedly and hugged me tightly, apologizing for being late. Before spitting out the information I had, I asked her the reason. Instead of answering, she kissed me and said she had something to show before all the talks. Pulled out a stick and flashed it in front of me, screaming, "2 red lines! We're pregnant!" I was flabbergasted, not because it was an unplanned pregnancy, but because I cannot father a child. This was my secret. I wanted to reveal that evening. I had been snipped years ago. Call me radical or anything, but I don't feel like bringing an innocent life into this unsafe world. I stared at her in disbelief. If I'm infertile and she's pregnant, then it is evident that she had cheated on me. Before revealing my secret, I asked why she was late. I wanted to see the extent of her lies. She said she had been feeling dizzy since last evening, but thought it was just tiredness. As soon as she reached the office, she threw up and was feeling lightheaded, so she left work early and took an Uber to the hospital, but almost passed out on her way. The driver helped her get inside. The doctors checked her, ran some tests, and found out that she was pregnant. I played along and asked why she didn't call me if she was in such a distressful state. She had the audacity to say, "Didn't want to disturb you. I thought I'd manage. Had no idea it would get so worse. And when I finally got my senses, the nurse informed me about her baby. I was so happy and wanted to break this to you in person. Savor the moment just like this. Didn't want to ruin it by calling you at the hospital." I sat there numb. She hugged me, but I was stone cold. She thought it was a surreal moment for us, hence I was reacting this way. She went on to say, "I know this was unplanned. We didn't want this right now, but we love each other, right? I see my future with you, and I know you do too, so why not now?" She was right. I was seeing my future with her, even wanted to propose down the line. If I hadn't been snipped, I might have even considered marrying her right away and raising the baby together. I could have easily been tricked into this. However, the reality was different. I was speechless. Couldn't believe that this woman had been cheating on me and how easily she was lying and manipulating the situation. She urged for a reaction. How was I feeling? Was I overwhelmed, scared, or happy? I said I feel nothing. I have no clue how to process it. She tried to calm me down, or maybe manipulate it further. See, I understand. It's scary. It is for me too. I know you didn't sign up for this. We didn't even talk about marriage or children, and suddenly this has happened. But this is life, unpredictable. We can't do anything but accept the reality and work with it. I spoke up and told her that this is not possible. I could never impregnate her. She snapped at me and said the classic line, but you know protection can't stop only 99%. There's still a chance of 1%, right? We might be the special case. I shot back. I wasn't talking about protection. I've been snipped and there's no other way I can give you a baby. She froze. Literally froze. And then screamed. You did what? Why didn't you tell me? I gave my reason. She listened, but didn't lose her mind over it. She was more focused on convincing me that it was some sort of miracle. Pulled up the information and showed that even a vasectomy has 99% success rate, so this could be the rare 1% case. I wasn't convinced at all. I said, this can't be my baby. You can have your theories. I won't accept them. She obviously turned it around on me that I was trying to run away from my responsibilities, that I was overwhelmed by the news. She was like, I can forgive you for your cute little secret. I can understand it must be hard for you to admit your insecurities, but you can't get away with our baby citing your stupid reason. This is your child, period. I said, you know what, I'm done talking to you. This child cannot be mine, which makes it evident that you cheated on me. I'm not even interested in who and how. I just want you to get off my back. She screamed, how can I do this? And how will she manage the baby alone? I yelled back, go wherever the hell you want. I don't care. I stormed out and went to my friend's place. Told him I had a fight. I needed a couch to crash because I just couldn't stand up to her nagging. Didn't tell him the actual reason. Needed to clear my head first. Today morning, when I came back, she was sleeping on the couch. On seeing me, she stretched and smiled and said, good morning, babe. Do you feel better now? And tried to hold my hands as I passed her. This is all I calculated psychological play. Pure emotional blackmail. I shrugged her hands off and went straight to the shower and got ready for work. She rallied behind me like an angry girlfriend, picking up an argument about how I could be so insensitive to leave my pregnant girlfriend alone and anxious. While leaving, I looked straight into her eyes and said, this relationship is over. You cheated and I'm moving out tonight. Back off. At work, I scouted for places near my office and finalized one. Took a time off from work tomorrow, booked a pickup van to move my stuff to the new place. However, to my surprise, when I came back in the evening, I found her parents waiting for me like wounded tigers. As soon as I entered, they shot me with questions from all directions as to how I could abandon my child, my pregnant girlfriend. How could I shy away from my responsibilities? They started yapping like the most uneducated trio I have ever seen. Her mom was like, look, we are traditional people. We can't let her have a baby without a name. And you anyway wanted to marry her, so why not now? They went on and on about how they were noble members of our community and how this would drag their family name through the mud. They spoke about how this matter was scandalous, like it was the 18th century. At one point, her mom even started pleading. I asked them if they knew about my condition. Her mom quickly jumped in. Darling, this is a miracle. It's part of God's plan. You thought you could never have a baby, and here, the Lord says no, you'll have a baby. You can't run away from your destiny. What the crappy BS was that? I knew I couldn't beat them with logic. They were crap-headed people. Either they were too dumb to understand the truth or too cunning to admit that their daughter has been effing around. They tried to portray this as a special case. I said, cool, I'll take responsibility of the miracle child or whatever. Give me the paternity test first. Hearing this, they froze. They literally froze. Cass snapped at me that she would never take that test. She hasn't cheated on me, and if anyone should be upset, it was her. Besides, I was the one who was keeping a life-altering secret from her. She then looked me dead in the eye and told me to prepare myself to take care of her and our child. If I try to run away, I'll face consequences. I replied to her in the same manner. I'm ready to face one. Do anything you want. You can't make me raise someone else's child. Her father stepped in and asked me to calm down and have a mature talk. I said none of you are mature enough to understand that I cannot birth a child, so I don't want to waste my time on the talks. I have made my point clear. Get a paternity test and I promise to become the best father of that child. This should have been the 100th time I was saying this. All I was asking for was the barest minimum, something any reasonable woman would do just to clear her name. If she really didn't cheat on me, she would agree to get a paternity test done. I came to my room, stuffed my essentials into 2 bags, and moved to a hotel. I'll stay there for tonight and move to a new place tomorrow. I'm 100% sure that child is not mine, and she has cheated on me, and she's going to pay for it. I'll make sure she does. It's honestly insane how quickly she tried to spin the whole thing from "this is a miracle" to "you're just scared and running away," all while ignoring the very real, straightforward fact that you can't get someone pregnant. And when you didn't go along with it, she doubled down, brought in her parents, and tried to shame you into saying, "Pardon me?" Update 1. Hi everyone. Thanks for all the comments and support. It's nice to know I'm not just being erratic. Here's an update. After spending the night at the hotel, I moved to a new place with the 2 bags I carried that evening, canceled the pickup van to avoid any face-offs. However, after a week when I needed the fresh clothes, I decided to go to the apartment to pick up the remaining stuff in the afternoon when she's away for work. When I got there, I discovered that she was gone too, like totally wiped off from the environment, even down to a picture frame that used to hang beside mine in the living room. Funny enough, the first thing that came to my mind was a sigh of relief. It'd be best for both of us if she moved in with whoever was the father of the child. Good riddance to bad rubbish, right? I called the building manager and informed him that I was no longer living in that place and he's free to do whatever he wanted. I handed over the keys and moved out. Both of our names were on the lease. I moved out, and now it was his responsibility to settle the matter with her. For another week, things were calm. I was even slowly getting over the whole thing, thinking it was all over now, but boy was I wrong. Yesterday, I had unwanted visitors at work. She showed up with her parents and her lawyer, uncle. Initially, I thought of asking the security to kick them out, but I didn't want them to create a chaos in my office and start unnecessary gossip. So, I decided to face it. I took them to the cafe where her lawyer uncle spent over 30 minutes trying to educate me on what the law says about paternity, child and spousal support, abandonment, and all that crap. I listened silently, because I knew that if this man was really a lawyer, he'd understand where I was coming from. When he was done talking and making legal threats, I informed him about my vasectomy. From his reaction, it indicated he wasn't aware of it. Cass's father jumped in and accused me of keeping this a secret from her and trapping her. I admitted I had kept this from her, but it's also true that I had told her about my decision not to have kids, and she had even agreed to it. Her mom was like, "This is all God's plan. You and I can wish anything, but the Lord will do whatever He wants. This baby is a miracle child." They basically tried to ignore the fact and to corner me about the secret I kept from her. Her uncle's demeanor changed after that. He was mostly silent. I put him on the spot and asked, "You're a lawyer, right? Speak fairly. In this situation, am I unreasonable asking for a paternity test? I'm promising to be the best father and best husband if that child is mine." He was convinced and asked Cass why she was not getting a test done and sort out the matter instead of making it messy. She dodged his suggestion and started crying about how difficult her pregnancy was, and she had to deal with this emotional battle on top of that. I pointed out to her uncle how she ignored the test suggestion and went full ballistic, that she cheated on me, and that was an affair baby. She and her parents tried to corner me, but her uncle was like, "Let's get out of here. What you guys are saying doesn't make sense." He walked out, and all 3 of them followed. Yes, it might be cheap, but when they were talking out, I called names and screamed loud enough for everyone to hear that she was a cheater and got knocked up by God knows who. Phew, I'm still boiling by their audacity. Also, people bashing me for keeping a secret, let me tell you, I had already informed her about my decision of not having a kid, and that's equivalent to my snip. Update 2. Oh boy, it gets weird. Today, I got a call from an unknown number. When I picked up, it was a lawyer guy, her uncle. I immediately disconnected. He then texted me that he had something to tell. I called back. To my surprise, he apologized and also informed me of something very grave. First of all, her parents brought him to threaten me about the legal stuff, which fell flat on them when I asked about the DNA test. Her parents kind of scolded him for taking my side and not scaring me enough. He suggested them it was better she got the tests done in a way that it would be better to hold me accountable. To which her father embarrassingly admitted that it was not my baby, and they were all trying to pin it on me. Her parents knew everything. Apparently, she got knocked up by her loser ex, her hobo boyfriend from junior high, alcoholic, drug addict, and an all-round troubled soul. He went on to say how her parents hated that deadbeat guy, and once her father caught them in the basement and beat him black and blue. When she was in college, she started living with him and her parents disowned her. She went against her parents to be with him. It jogged me of the time I met Cass. It's a history I forgot and wanted her to forget. When I first met her, she looked pathetic. Hair disheveled, purple patches under her eyes, and bruises all over. He was so controlling AF. He disconnected her from her family and support systems, beat her up, snatched her phone and locked her in the bedroom for days. What she initially thought of as care became torture and obsession. He literally took away life from her. She somehow managed to escape and sought help from our group. Back then I was volunteering with an NGO that cared for people like Cass who were physically and emotionally abused by their partners. I personally took her under my wing, helped her get a shelter and treatment, both physiological and psychological. I also made sure she put her degree to good use, got her hired at my friend's company. Eventually, when she got her life back together, we started dating. I even helped her reconcile with her parents. They liked me. Were happy to see that she was free from that junkie. Cass also thanked me graciously for saving her from the perpetrator. Look at the irony of the situation. Now she was cheating on me with the same guy. She had confessed to her parents that she bumped into him at a bar and they talked briefly, which stirred up her past. She realized that she still had unresolved raw emotions for him. He started texting her, swearing to be a sober person, promising the world to her. On his birthday, he invited her to his apartment. She declined the invite, but he sobbed about being alone on a special day. So, out of pity, she showed up just thinking to wish him and push off, but one thing led to another, and then, bam, she's now carrying his child. Hearing this, I want to say I was heartbroken, but I was mainly livid. Not only this, she had lied about a lot of things. The day she found out about her pregnancy, she left her office early, spent the day hunting her ex, and confronting him about the baby. He showed his reality when he is barely able to make ends meet and cannot take the responsibility of a child. I asked her to pin on me and pretend they never met. She did the same. Had I not been snipped, today I would have been raising someone else's child. When I walked out on her that evening, she went to her parents to help, and they also suggested that she pin it on me. They laid out the truth in front of her lawyer uncle and begged him to take her case and sue me for child support. The lawyer said he called her dad out for baby trapping me, to which he shamelessly admitted, "You can't blame a man for wanting what's best for his child. I cannot let her raise my grandkid with that hobo." The lawyer uncle said he cannot fight a fake case and walked out. I guess he was a good man that he stood up for the truth and informed me about it. To my advantage, I had recorded the whole conversation. My intention behind recording was that if he threatens me, I'll report him. Now I have a goldmine of information to my benefit. I'm satisfied that she was knocked up by a loser and is going to suffer, but I'll also do my part to make her life more miserable. So hang in there. There will definitely be one more update. Update 3. A quick one. I informed my friend, her boss, about her cheating and how she tried to pin it on me. He said he was sorry, but he can't fire an employee because she cheated on her partner. Fair point. However, due to her personal issues, she slacked behind and couldn't bag the promotion. The condition got so worse that she couldn't even do the bare minimum work to keep herself employed. When my friend gave her the warning, she sobbed and talked about her problems. How she's managing the pregnancy alone, how her deadbeat lover has abandoned her and fled the country to avoid legal troubles, and even her parents have disowned her. My friend sympathized with her, but he's not running a charity. An employee who cannot function is a liability, and no one wants that. He has given her a month's notice to find another job because he cannot have a non-functional worker. Wow. You helped pull her out of one abusive relationship only to be repaid by her going back to the same person and trying to make you clean up the wreckage. And then the audacity to claim it's all God's plan? No, that was her plan. One built on desperation, denial, and zero accountability. You tried to be a good partner. You were honest, even if late, and you gave her every chance to come clean. She didn't. That's on her. This was ugly. If someone tries to baby trap you, and you have ironclad proof the kid isn't yours, do you owe them anything beyond the door hitting them on the way out? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And thank you for joining us today on rSpace. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. See you soon.